America was like landing on another planet. Everything was different. The air smelled different, cleaner somehow, without the familiar scent of wood smoke and red earth that had been the background of Mira's entire life. The buildings stretched impossibly high into the sky, made of glass and steel that reflected the clouds. The roads were smooth and wide, with cars moving in orderly lines, obeying rules that everyone seemed to understand without question. And the cold. Oh, the cold was something Mira had never experienced before. A biting chill that seeped through her clothes and made her bones ache in ways she didn't know were possible. But more overwhelming than all of that was the kindness. Wisdom's family welcomed her with open arms, no questions asked, no judgments passed. His mother, a warm woman with graying hair and eyes that crinkled when she smiled, pulled Mira into a tight hug the moment they met and said, "Welcome home, my daughter. This is your home now. You belong here, my dear." Belong. Such a simple word, but one that Mira had spent her entire life searching for and never quite finding. From the time she was an 8-year-old orphan enduring the cruelty of her stepmother and beauty, to the painful years in Obina's house where she was blamed, isolated, and ultimately discarded, she had never known what it felt like to be truly wanted. Wisdom's house was modest by American standards, but felt like a palace to Mira. It had heating that kept the rooms warm even when snow fell outside. It had a bathroom with hot water that came out of the tap whenever you wanted it. It had a kitchen with appliances that cooked food with the press of a button. It had soft carpets and comfortable furniture and windows that looked out onto a quiet street lined with trees that turned brilliant shades of red and gold in the fall. "This is ours," Wisdom said, watching Mira's face as she took it all in, her eyes wide with wonder and disbelief. "This is your home, your safe place, the place where you can finally rest." And rest she did. For the first few weeks, Mira simply existed in a state of quiet amazement, learning how to live in this new world. Wisdom was patient with her, showing her how to use the washing machine, how to work the thermostat, how to navigate the grocery store with its endless aisles of choices that made her head spin. He taught her how to use the bus system, how to read street signs, how to call for help if she ever needed it. But more than teaching her the practical things, he showed her every single day, through his actions and his words, that she was valued. He would come home from work and ask about her day, actually listening to her answers. He would help with dinner, standing beside her in the kitchen, chopping vegetables and stirring pots and making her laugh with stories about his co-workers. He would hold her at night, not with expectation or demand, but simply to let her know she wasn't alone, that she was safe, that she was loved. 3 months passed in this gentle rhythm of healing and discovering. Mira began to learn English better, picking up the American accent, understanding the idioms and jokes that had confused her at first. She made friends with some of the Nigerian women in the community, women who understood the strange duality of being caught between two worlds, of loving where you came from, but being grateful for where you had landed. And then, one morning, Mira woke up feeling strange. Not sick exactly, but different, off balance. Her stomach felt queasy, and the smell of Wisdom making coffee in the kitchen, a smell she normally loved, suddenly made her want to vomit. She rushed to the bathroom, barely making it in time. And when she emerged, pale and shaking, Wisdom was standing in the doorway with concern etched across his face.
Are you okay?
He asked, moving towards her.
Should we go to the doctor?
I don't know.
Mira said honestly, a hand pressed against her stomach.
I don't know. I feel strange. Maybe it's something I ate.
But the strange feeling didn't go away. It happened again the next morning and the morning after that. Mentally, Mira pushed the rising thoughts away, desperately telling herself it was just the heavy American food or the biting transition into the winter weather, anything to guard her heart against a hope that felt impossible. By the fourth day, when Wisdom suggested they go to the clinic just to be safe, Mira finally agreed, though a small, terrified voice in the back of her mind was whispering something she was afraid to believe, afraid to even think about. The clinic was clean and efficient, nothing like the crowded hospitals Mira had visited in Nigeria. The nurse was kind, asking questions in a gentle voice, taking notes on a computer. She took Mira's blood pressure, checked her temperature, asked about her symptoms. And then she asked the question that made Mira's heart stop.
Is there any chance you could be pregnant?
Mira's mouth went dry. She looked at Wisdom, who was sitting beside her, his hand holding hers.
I don't know. I mean, for 6 years with my first husband, I never.
Let's do a test.
The nurse said with a knowing smile, just to rule it out. The wait for the result felt like an eternity compressed into 15 minutes. Mira sat in the examination room, her leg bouncing nervously, her mind racing through every possibility, every hope, every fear. Wisdom sat beside her, his thumb tracing circles on the back of her hand, his presence steady and calm, even though she could see the tension in his shoulders, the hope in his eyes that he was trying not to show in case it was false hope. When the nurse came back, she was smiling, a real smile, warm and genuine.
Congratulations,
She said.
You're pregnant. About 8 weeks along, I'd estimate. We'll do an ultrasound to confirm and make sure everything looks good, but yes, you're gonna have a baby.
The world tilted sideways. Mira's ears started ringing. She heard Wisdom make a sound, something between a laugh and a sob, felt him pull her into his arms, felt his tears against her neck as he held her tightly, but she couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't even process what she had just had. Pregnant. She was pregnant. After years of trying, after years of tears, public humiliation and being called barren by Obina's mother and Beauty, after believing that motherhood was a blessing forever denied to her, she was pregnant. The ultrasound confirmed it. There on the screen, a tiny but unmistakably real shape appeared. And there, right in the center, was a distinct rapid flutter of a heartbeat, small as a grain of rice, but beating strong and steady, proving that life had taken root where an entire village had said nothing could ever grow.
Mira stared at that screen, tears streaming down her face, and felt something break open inside her chest. Not break as in shatter, but break as in release. All the pain of her orphaned childhood, all the shame of her failed marriage, all the years of believing she was cursed or defective, all of it crumbled away in that moment, replaced by something pure and overwhelming and beautiful. Joy. Pure, uncomplicated joy.
That's our baby, Mira.
Wisdom whispered, his voice thick with emotion. his eyes glued to the screen.
That's our baby, Mira. We're gonna be parents.
The pregnancy was not easy. Mira was sick often, especially in the first trimester. The smell of certain foods made her nauseous. She was exhausted all the time, falling asleep at odd hours, her body working overtime to create new life. But through it all, wisdom was there. He held her hair when she was sick. He cooked bland foods that her stomach could tolerate. He rubbed her feet when they swelled. He talked to her belly every night, telling their unborn child stories, singing songs, speaking tongues over the baby, and making promises about the life they would give him.
You're gonna be so loved, so protected, so cherished.
He would say, his lips pressed against Mira's stomach.
Your mother is the strongest, bravest woman I've ever met. And your father? Your father is gonna make sure you never doubt for 1 second that you are wanted.